What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the North Park Beer Company, and they're out of San Diego, California, and this is their Lupulin Collider Batch 2. So they're calling this one a triple dry hopped hazy Triple IPA. Comes in at 10% alcohol by volume, 19 IBUs at the time of review. This can is approximately 5 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Bud, for hooking me up with this one. So huge thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he hooked me up with. He hooked me up with 3 different North Park beers, and that's because Bud's a great dude. He knew that I wanted to try some fresh North Park, and he hooked it up with, again, 3 different offerings, including their staple West Coast IPA, like their flagship beer, Hop Fu. Now, I'm reviewing this one first because it's a bit older. It's 5 weeks old. Hop Fu, and the other one he sent me, don't remember off the top of my head, but they were both super fresh. So I wanted to get to this one first, and then I'll do Hop Fu after. But yeah, this sounds delicious. They're brewing this one with Citra, Galaxy, and Nelson Sauvin hops. And again, this is a triple dry hopped triple IPA, and it's a hazy triple. And they're known for their West Coast, but they also do hazies. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. 3 of my favorite hops right there. And yeah, let's crack this one open, get it into the glass, see what we got going on. So 5 weeks should be great for a beer like this. I've had triples, 3-4 months old that are great. Sometimes these are hopped so much, especially a beer that's triple dry hop, that this should be right in the wheelhouse of drinking exceptionally well. We'll see. Anyway, let's give it a pour here. Yeah, that looks super hazy, I would say. All right, we'll go with something like that. Put the rest of it over here. Yeah, so that looks beautiful. That has that milky turkey gravy type of look to it. In person, it has just like this really nice, bright, like dulled yellow color, but again, like a turkey gravy. It's, excuse me, like a milky kind of New England style triple IPA. It's so, like, you can't see through it. It's definitely opaque. Had about a finger of an off-white, creamy looking head, and it looks fantastic. Let's get a nose. Yeah. Oh my God. So what hit me right at the forefront was it was an explosion of like fruity goodness. The Nelson shining. There's white grapes. The Galaxies hit me with like the really nice like crushed pineapple, a little bit of passion fruit. And then the citrus hitting with like a stone fruit kind of medley of like peach and mango. But then I'm getting this huge like dank, like this dank, earthy, resinous like hop character. It does smell a little bit green still at 5 weeks. I mean, when you're triple dry hopping something like this, I'd imagine there's going to be a little bit probably of a slight like green astringency hop burn. It just smells, it's like hop saturation. Like there's so much hop character in this one that it's kind of like burning my nostrils. But again, it's not like totally full on like green. It's just like vibrant, intense. The malt bill has this really simple, like, crackery, slightly doughy thing. And I'm getting the doughy, like, malt character a little bit more. I noticed it in, like, a couple beers over the last couple months. And I'm like, yeah, that's more like a doughy thing. And I like it better than just saying bready. It's like, slightly doughy. It smells fucking awesome, honestly. Yeah, I want to get into it. So cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Bud. That's fucking absolutely dynamite is what that is. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Start doing the Sesame Street. Yep. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This is not for the faint of heart when it comes to hop beers or hop forward beers in general. There is an intense hop character on my palate. Like, it's hard to describe. I'm just getting bombarded and my tongue is getting saturated by just like hops in their purest form. And it's fucking delicious. This is delicious. Cannot stress enough how good this fucking beer is. Body in this one's like lower side of full. It's 10%. And a lot of times I'll say this. A lot of times I'll say, hey, triple IPAs like medium, higher side of medium, maybe lower side of full. That's fine. It's 10%. I don't want to drink like a I don't want to drink like an imperial stout. I don't want my IPAs to be, thick and chewy. And I really don't. but this has a bigger body than most triples, but it works because of the intensity of the hop characters. This beer is a bit green still. There's a little bit of a throat burn, green astringency on the palate. But I don't really fucking care because it's not ruining the experience. It's just like one of the slight negatives. And when you do a beer review like this, and I don't know how many people watch my reviews that don't do beer reviews, and they just, there's somebody who cracks open a beer, maybe drinks along with the review, or maybe just drinks the beer, goes and looks for reviews. If you don't review beer, it's hard to describe the difference when you sit down for 6, 8, 10 minutes usually with my reviews and try to break down a beer. It's different than just popping open a can and watching a baseball or hockey game, or watching a movie or your favorite TV show. Like, you're sitting here and trying to break down what you're tasting. So you have to take the good with the bad, and a lot of times you try to tear down a beer and you try to look for negatives, and maybe that's a bad thing when it comes to beer reviews, but I'm trying to review it and saying, hey, what do I really like about this? What do I find as a negative? A negative to this beer, to me, is that at 5 weeks old, it's still green. There's a slight throat kind of burn on the back of the palate. It has a green astringency on the palate. But I don't care as much as if this wasn't delicious. If this was giving me a hot burn and it's not that great, whatever. This is fucking dynamite. All right, so let's go. Body and mouthfeel, like I said. Higher side of medium, lower side of full. The mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth, it's creamy, it's what you want out of like a New England style IPA. And I know Bud has said this and other people. When it comes to a lot of these breweries, North Park, Monkish, Green Sheik, the ones he sent to me, Moonraker, a lot of these breweries try to do like a hybrid of like a New England style and a West Coast style. The mouthfeel on this is like straight up New England style for me though. Like it's exactly what you want. Soft, smooth, really, really creamy. But taste, right at the forefront, there's a ton of peach and mango, a lot of stone fruits. Right after that, passion fruit. The pineapple isn't as pronounced in this one as it was in the nose. It's more of a passion fruit, almost like a slight tart passion fruit thing going on. Middle of the palate, I'm bombarded with white grapes and white wine. And I think the white grapes devolve into the white wine that then transfer into like this really nice semi to full-on dry finish. This doesn't really have any bitterness. I take that back. This one's full-on dry with like a mild bitterness. So on the back of the palate, along with that like hop burn and green astringency, I'm getting this resinous, slightly piney, grassy type of feeling. Man, this is really good. I will say this: as I continue to drink on it, that hop burn is definitely noticeable, even at 5 weeks old. And again, I don't care as much if this beer wasn't as delicious. I think if you have a can of this, I don't know when I'll post this. I'll probably post this can's about 5 weeks old, probably around like the 7-week mark. I think a beer like this, honestly, what I'm drinking right now, I think a beer like this at the 2-month mark is probably prime. I think that green astringency will die down a little bit and you'll get more of the hop character and just more of like an actual, I shouldn't say actual hop character. That green astringency will die down and I think you'll be left with more of just like the actual fruity, juicy goodness. But as is, I'm really enjoying this one. If it wasn't for that green, hop burn, I think I would give this honestly like a high 4.75. That's how fucking good this beer is. I'd give it like a 4.8, 4.85. Like I really would. I have to knock it down because of that hop burn. I will say this is one of the better triple IPAs I've had recently. It hides the alcohol well, 10%. The only reason I know it's bigger is because of the body and the mouthfeel and the intensity of the flavors. Like everything about this screams triple IPA except for the fact that you don't taste the alcohol. There's no alcohol on the palate. There's a little bit of warming in chest, but 10% hides it extremely well. So I'm going to have to knock this down like a quarter point just because of that hop burn. But I think if you have a can of this and you drink it around the 2-month-old mark, which sounds crazy. It's like, all right, drink a triple IPA 2 months old. Man, a lot of these beers when they're hopped as much as this one is, triple dry hopped, they're using a shit ton of hops. Like you can drink this one at 2 months old, and I think you'll be fine, and I think it'll be drinking extremely well. But for me, Lupulin Collider Batch 2 from North Park, my first official like true beer from them. I am going to give this like a high 4 to 5, go 4.55. Why? Because whatever, it's a number, and that's what I'm going with. But this is really good stuff. I just wish that if that hop burn wasn't there, this is almost a 5 for me. This is everything I'd want out of a triple IPA. The body is appropriate for what you're drinking. The mouth feels fucking spectacular. I'm getting all three of the hops. There's a beautiful cohesion, and I guess there's a cohesion and kind of blend of all those flavors that work extremely well. There's a semi to full-on dry finish with a nice mild to moderate bitterness where it's just quite balanced. It's just that hop burn is definitely still there. It's so fucking good. It's just, I know by the end of this can, my throat's going to be on fire because of the hop burn. So 4.55, sit on this one for at least until the 2-month mark, I would say, for me personally. But that's just my one man's opinion. Price and availability. Here's where it's crazy, but it's California, it's San Diego. Keep that in mind. Just like when I talk about price points from New York City, you have to keep that in mind. I believe Bud said a 4-pack of this was $26. The most I've ever paid for a Triple IPA was $24 from Other Half. So it's not that crazy, but $26 4-pack is still crazy. It's delicious, though. I gave it a 4.55. $26 4-pack, is it expensive? Yeah, it is. Would I buy it again? Probably, and I'd sit on it for 2 months and then drink at the 2-month mark. But yeah, $26 a 4-pack. That's the price point. Availability, I want to say, Bud, he sent me a text saying the availability. I forget. I think he said that these are brewery only, but they get drips and drabs into local bottle shops. I don't know if something like this would show up in a local bottle shop. Probably something like Hop Fu, maybe some of their regular rotating offerings. But yeah, it's tough to get North Park if you're not in San Diego, plain and simple. That's why I'm so appreciative towards Bud that he sent me 3 beers from them, along with a couple from Monkish and Green Cheek. We don't get that stuff out here, so it's a really cool experience. So not much more to say about it. It's a fucking delicious Triple IPA. It's just, there's definite hot burn at 5 weeks old, and if I kind of knew what I know now, I probably would have waited on this one for a couple weeks, drank the Hop Fu first out of everything, and then just, went in order of freshness. But you live and learn. And it's crazy that I'm saying that about a beer that I give a 4.55 out of 5 to, but it's fucking delicious. So not much more to say. Yeah, anyway, thanks to Bud for this beer. If you've had this one, batch 1, batch 2, if you had anything from North Park, let me know what you think about it. I can't wait to get into Hop Fu and the other one he sent my way. I'm really excited about it. So huge thanks to Bud for all the beers, especially this one. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.